still drawing power? Yeah, it is. But this is why I want to have the hysteresis here. So, under normal operation, it won't kick in those generators until it's at 190 degrees. And that's going to have a long wind down time before it gets down as low as 130 and it shuts them off again. So that's going to get the most bang for buck out of the power control station. Now, what is your overheat temperature? I don't think this has an overheat temperature other than the copper. No, so that's there. That's okay. Now, this room is going to be getting roasty toasty. Contents of the water pipe is... the oil is actually going to take a lot more time for this water to warm up. Eventually, it'll be quite warm, but it doesn't really bother me, honestly. The heat in there is not the problem. Okay, that's doing some good work. Finally getting a little bit of power out of that to offset the power that it's using. And this place is actually starting to build up as well, which is interesting. Very interesting. Both of these are now running all the time. This copper one. You know what? I'm going to enable auto repair on that. Let's get that one fixed. Actually. What is the overheat temperature of a copper thermo aqua tuner? 125. Yeah, no, we can still get that as long as we've got some polluted water. We've got quite a lot of it there now. That one should be able to run flat out for a while. Sure, we'll get some pit bags. Bloody mirth leaf. Also, could someone uproot that buff briar? And then sweep this one as well as a priority 9, if you would be so kind. Get that away from that pip. It can't be trusted. Don't think about it, Pip. That's right, you keep walking. There we go. Okay, now it's safe, and the Pip can happily plant that briar blossom whenever you want. Okay. Slowly getting things back in order. Let's just make sure that we've got plenty of food over here. And it's starting not to, if I'm honest. That's worrisome. I may need to set up a conveyor rail to move the meat down there. I mean, at this point, I don't need the critter drop-off. They're just going to keep making more. Unless that's a requirement for a ranch. A stable. No, grooming station is the only thing that's required for a stable. I could build an auto sweeper and a container over here. Set to only take meat. And then shunt the meat all the way back down. Now, that would take an awfully long time to do. But would be very, very much worth it, in my opinion. But while we're considering that, let's at least get this area mined out so we've got that precious, precious fossil that we need. We need all of that lime. This is actually, the temperature in here is going up. So this is generating a little bit more power. Nice. Very nice indeed. Down here, not quite as much, but we're getting there. All right. I could do a documentary on duplicants, because dyslexia is a pain in my ass, if I'm perfectly honest. Yes, I could do a documentary on duplicants.
Going to sign up early. Had a rough night last night. And going to bed early tonight. Oh, take care, Shimmering Dewdrop. I really hope that, a solid sleep helps to reset that for you. I'm sorry to hear that you had a bit of a rough day, though. I hope everything shapes up a little bit better for you in as near a future as is possible. I'm starting to get a little bit worried about all of this oil all over the place. I kind of feel like we need to mop it up a bit. Because that's going to start backing things up. Eventually. I am going to focus on getting this area fully mined out, though, first. This is a higher priority than pretty much anything else. Put your peppermint gone. It's fine. Oh. Ah, right, yeah. How about we get a little bit more stuff for the shovels, though? I feel a bit bad. I feel a bit bad about not taking care of the shovels yet. Could we get that meat out of here, though? Oh, no. Please tell me that meat is actually going to the right place and not over here. Where's the meat? Show me the meat. Why? You are set to make barbecue for, like, infinity, aren't you? You are, kind of. Alright. Oh, let's get the last one of these done. Someone move that meat before it decays, because I'm going to be so annoyed if you let that shovel meat decay. Considering how long it takes us to get that, we have to wait for them to die of natural causes to get that meat. It takes a long time. Shovels have a very, very high life expectancy. Don't eat bristleberries. Don't eat lice loaf. What do we got? What are our calories made of? Actually, I'll allow you to eat lice loaf then, I guess. Don't eat bristleberries. And don't eat meat. Can I do anything with the lice loaves? No. No. Okay, well, you can eat through the lice loaves then, but don't eat the rest of it. Only actual food, please. Now, this is the problem when everyone inside goes to sleep. But I really do like this. I love having this little schedule switcheroo so that we can manage with far fewer people working the far fewer toilets. I think that actually helps out a lot. Would you like to plant? I'd like you to plant. Would you like to plant, though? Ooh, is that a bit too close? Well, it shouldn't be, because I could plant them every other one. Oh, this might just be a little bit too close. Can someone let me know how close on the right side the bristle blossom has to be? We may have locked this into just being a park forever now instead of a nature reserve, which would be a massive pain because that's half the bonus there. All for the sake of having that. That would annoy me. But I was fairly certain it could be two spaces, two spaces, two spaces, so on and so forth. Or maybe it's 3 2 spaces. Could it be? It might be that they've got to be 5 apart. That would be a real pain. An enormous pain in the butt. Not entirely unfixable, though. 3 plants, 3 spaces. Damn it!
Okay. That is most unfortunate. Okay. Well, there is a way for us to make this happen. It's kind of a... Well, there's basically two ways. You can cook a natural tile into it. Or, like, for example, you can bake algae and it'll turn into dirt. 2 plants, 2 spaces means that when you plant a third... basically, this plant can check this, 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 and this space. And it sees 3 plants, so it'll never plant another one there. That's the reason why that one doesn't work, unfortunately. Jazza, thank you very much for 58 months, mate. That's incredibly kind of you. Thank you. But basically, if the pip won't plant a plant if it can see 3 other plants within the area that it will check, and it'll check this far back. Most vexing. But 'tis what 'tis. Alright. We're going to have to adjust our ideas for this area. There is a way of us fixing this, though. It's a glitchy way, and as a result, it's not something I like to do. But I've never done it before, but I think I understand the idea behind it. So, I think it's a case that if you build up an area around the desired location. Okay, so I'm going to get that built as well. And then, I think it's either is it a pneumatic door or is it a manual airlock? I think it's a manual airlock because it needs the amount of metal that it's going to be made. But let's see if we can fix this mistake of mine, because that was my mistake. In pursuing symmetry, I have ruined everything. Now, if we can get just a little bit of something in there. Ultimately, I'm going to have to dig all of these up, but if I can just get that sorted, then we can get all of this fixed. Hurry up! I want to show how you fix that problem. Damn it. Wart seed. I'll never say no to a wart seed. Sure. Right, okay, this is actually becoming a little bit of an issue. I'm going to give you a high priority mop order in these locations to get rid of that bubble effect. Loads of lead. At this point we can also start pulling this down. But as soon as that gets built, we'll see if it works out the way I think it's going to work. Shakal Draconis, it already occurred to me that I could do that. Have a plant, sign, plant, statue, plant, sign, plant. Don't worry. But good on you for picking up on that. Very true. It is exceedingly true, yes. Okay, that is resolved. So now we actually want to do the same thing over here, so that we have that same effect. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to dig out that tile. Put another one of these over here, make it out of aluminium as well. This way it'll actually kind of have a... You know what, maybe I could go for full symmetry and have the tile underneath made of aluminium as well. Oh, thank you very much, Hi Kaiser. That's incredibly kind of you. 17 months. Diolch yn fawr, mate. Right, so, okay. Now, if I set this one to be deconstructed, I do believe that if the magic is right, this will turn into a tile of aluminium ore. I might need to make it out of the this one to have 400. No, there we go. 200. I mean, it's not great, but I wonder if I make it out of the bigger one, does it give me a better return? Let's see. Let's have a watch. Actually, you know what? I kind of like the cracked aluminium effect. It looks almost like the bristle blossom would have dug its roots down into it. And I dig that. But yeah, you can create that effect. It's a small lump of aluminium there. However, there are other ways that you can do this in game. I guess we'll leave the igneous rock there. That will achieve that same effect. But, you know, your mileage may vary on whether you prefer that or not. I'm afraid you need to go, because I'm going to replace all the aluminium with the same look. It's important to me. But I will try making this out of a different door, because I think it has something to do with the mass of the metal that is there when you deconstruct it. So we'll see if this can fix it. It's going to take them a little while to get that done. We'll make that an 8, though. Let's get that done quickly. Hey, Atomic Blue Shell, how you doing, mate? I must go to sleep. Perhaps your voice shall bring sweet dreams, despite the recent loss of my grand... Oh, I'm so sorry. Wow, I'm so excited to find out how you're doing, and that feels horrible now that it was bad news. I'm sorry, mate. I hope you have a peaceful night, for what it's worth. Let's go ahead and delete all of that. You believe the cracks are... Oh. Oh. There was a lump of ore there. There was a lump of ore when I deconstructed it. Of course that would make a difference. Alright. No, that makes sense. So basically that item got yoinked out of there. I want everything here then swept. Excuse me. Let's get all of this swept out of the way. All shall be swept. Moved away from there. Right, how's the fossil area coming along? It's not terrible, actually. Plastic is going to take a while to get done. This is still going. In fact, this is doing better now. It is getting hotter. My. Though, also, so is this. Now, the thing is the water coming out of this is at a steady 95 degrees. So, this water should be able to absorb the heat from the area around it at all times. But this is creeping up slowly. Why is that stopping? Oh, it's because the temperature. Is it? What's the current temperature of the steam turbine? 100°C. Okay. So it'll continue to shut down every time this gets over 100°C. You know, that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. The water is quite often cooling it down. Have we got enough steel yet to build another one? We do. So given that, I think we should. One right about there would be extremely useful, because then we'd have two of them drawing heat out of this area and dumping the water into this pipe. I mean, it's not taking damage, it's just shutting down occasionally. And then it cools off. It's still actually producing a decent amount of heat. So let's get that going. Yeah, I broke the park, then I fixed it, now I'm making it symmetrical again. Don't judge me! It's important. Can we get this all swept, though? Because I am going to need it all out of there. There we go. Oh, actually, two of them are managing this. Ooh. That's actually pulled down the temperature a bit. Look at that. Two of these working very happily together now. Now that is a thing of beauty. This one hasn't been tuned up, so it's only producing 400 watts, but this one is producing a very respectable 700. A very respectable 700. Now, when this one adds... how much heat does it drop in? Increase the petroleum temperature by 132 degrees. And what was petroleum's vaporization point? Boiling point? 500. So we could comfortably allow this to go as high as... well, we don't want it to be more than 200. Well... Let's say if it's above 190, it tries to cool it. That being said, no, 200 should be okay. So these won't even turn on until we need to cool this petroleum quite a lot. Otherwise, it's not going to pull power. It's just going to let this petroleum keep getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and indeed hotter still, and hotter still, and hotter still. And then when it comes out, it dumps a lot of that heat into everything. Up until this point, I want to try and keep it from getting too crazy, but... seems like it's going to work very well for us. This one's starting to have temperature problems again now. But we will be able to sort that out. I could even do something as simple as having Weezeworts in here. Bullpup. No. You would be a scoundrel. I would disapprove. Can we make this an 8? Let's get what's left of this little area completely cleaned out. Alrighty, I should go to bed. It's getting late here. And I have work in the morning. Goodbye all. Oh, take care, Psyduck. Thanks for dropping by. It was really lovely having you here. Alright, so we have got a fairly respectable amount of power bleeding out of this system now. I think this has got tuned up as well now. So yeah, both of them are providing a decent wattage. Well, this one, not quite, because it's too hot, but we'll get it there. Once we have the means, we'll get cooling going on over there. Looking for output point. There we go. This is some rather toasty petroleum that is dumping all of its heat into the steam around here. What's the temp shift plates like? Oh, they're only at 100. That's actually kind of interesting. What's the overall temperature in there? The average temperature of the 2,000 kilos of petroleum is 142. It's going to take a while for that to really heat up. But while it's going, all of that petroleum is dumping its heat into this steam, which is keeping this very, very toasty. Eventually, this is going to be in the same place, though. It's almost at 100 again. Much like this one, it'll start shutting down in much the same way. How much steel have we got? Have we got enough for the third? We do. Okay, well, I see absolutely no reason not to build the third. Go for it. We'll have 3 steam engines all running all the time. I think that's going to be rather useful, to say the very, very least. Unfortunately, because of the way that's working, it is going to take a while to get that going properly, but... Alright, we're drawing out a decent amount of power from this little setup now. And returning quite a lot of warm water. We're going to need these to kick in the not too distant future. But we have got very warm petroleum now coming back into the system. 240 degrees at the top. 160 degrees at the bottom. Wow! We are dumping a humongous amount of heat from here to here into this steam. Yeah, I am strongly considering having just a dedicated little cooler here, just to keep the steam, the power engine area cold. I'm strongly considering that. These ones are being somewhat managed by the temperature of the water, because by here it's reasonably capable of holding it back. But I'm wondering if it might not be better for me to have the water go up and run on a long tungsten route down through here, several ways to pull this heat out, because this is coming out at 95 degrees. It's gathering a lot of heat on its way. By the time it gets here, it's only like 97. This would possibly be enough to pull all of its own temperature out, but having a little extra thermal aqua tuner down here at the bottom would be quite nice. We are almost there for the steel as well. I think it would probably be worth it, yeah. Imagine if you made the pipe longer and squirrely. Yeah, I mean, that may work. Aavak, I've been wondering why you don't dump polluted water into the industrial brick. If I remember correctly, it creates dirt as an item when it evaporates, so you would effectively purify your water. Yes, but there's also the potential for it to create polluted oxygen, and I don't want anything that isn't steam in this brick. Nothing that isn't steam should ever be in here, is basically where I'm coming from with that. But yeah, I think ultimately I want a coolant running through this system.